was the difference. Lakers had multiple guys step up and have atypical big nights for him being X-Factor. Caldwell Pope, you mentioned. I thought Dwight Howard as well.
That does it for now, but stay with us. We're not done. Spurs Live is coming up. Lakers win it.
A game miss was just sort of a microcosm of the game for the Spurs, who shot under 40% for the game. They scored just 96 and lose at 103-96. Lakers are 5-1 after their best start since the 2010-2011 season. They led this game by as many as 19 before the Spurs made their comeback. More good defense from the Lakers today. Are you a believer? I mean, this is Frank Vogel's reputation, obviously. Great defensive teams. You were with him, those Eastern Conference Finals teams in Indiana. How do you think he's put his stamp on this club so far?
Well, I think it's showing by the amount of points that they're holding teams to night in and night out. And two things for sure that you're going to get from Frank Vogel. You're going to spend a lot of time in the film room. He came up as a video coordinator, so he believes in that, and he's going to put in his time and show guys and teach them through film. And then you're going to spend the majority of the practice doing defensive drills and defensive situations, like what you alluded to earlier, how we're going to guard the pick and roll. Yep. And one of the things that he believes in the pick and roll is he tries to guard it with two guys. And,
Got to, if you're going to be successful.
Exactly. And so he's very good at that, very detail-oriented, and I think it's starting to show in how this team is representing that on the floor defensively.
What's impressed you so far?
I just think the way they rebounded after the opening night loss to the Clippers, the way the Clippers beat them, they beat them physically. They beat them to the ball, to loose balls. They were more aggressive. They played much better defense. And I think what the Lakers thought that they were just going to ease themselves into the season. And that opening night match against the Clippers was like a bucket of ice water hit them right in the face. And again, that was the best thing happened because they would have played a lesser team, won the game, skated through. They wouldn't be playing with a sense of urgency because that loss to the Clippers told them, look, forget everybody else. If we can't beat the other team that's in this building, which we're going to have to beat to get to the finals, if we can't match that energy and effort, then we're fooling ourselves. So let's go back, let's commit ourselves, and then let's start playing defense the way Frank Vogel and that coaching staff wants them to. And thus far, to be shown, they're doing it.
LeBron did not have a great shooting night, just 8 of 23, but does come away with a triple-double, 21, 11 rebounds, 13 assists. Here he was a few moments ago with Mike Trudell.
All right, LeBron, Spurs go small down the stretch. You guys are still big. What are you looking to do to manipulate the matchups you want there?
No, it's not really about them. It's about us. It's how we can execute on the offensive end, get good shots, and then how we can get stops on the other end, which we did. You know, we got great looks, and anytime we miss, Superman was there to clean up the offensive glass, tip dunks, lobs, everything. He was great tonight.
You mentioned Dwight Howard. In that lineup, when it's been him and AD and you guys have been really tough to score on.
Yeah.
What's been the defensive key with that group?
There's three guys that want to defend at a high level. Every possession, we don't like guys to score on us. It's going to happen. It's the NBA because we're playing against great players, but we take so much pride on that side that we want to try to keep guys uncomfortable, and we did that tonight. You know, held another opponent, a great offensive team, to 40% shooting and under 100.
I know passing's always been probably the biggest part of your game, but you're now leading the NBA in assists. What are you seeing with your teammates? How are you getting to know them so far?
I'm getting better and better at the point guard position, just trying to know where my guys are, put them in position to be able to just catch and shoot, catch and lay the ball up, just make them as comfortable as possible out there. And Coach Vogel was allowing me to run the show. So tonight, you know, I was good at times. I wasn't so good at times. I had a couple of careless turnovers. Didn't shoot the ball particularly well from the field. Struggled at the free throw line, but you know, you just try to do other things to try to help your team win. I was able to do that.
Snoop Dogg was courtside. He was kind enough to come on the broadcast a couple of times to weigh in. What's it like having Uncle Snoop in the house?
It's great. I mean, I talked to him yesterday. He told me he was going to be in the building. So he all the way out here in San Antonio. We just try to give him love by playing the game that we want to play and try to get a win for him. So we was able to come through for him.
Appreciate it, LeBron.
I appreciate you.
All right, guys. LeBron James.
Good stuff from De'Aaron Fox. And Sacramento Kings, after an 0-5 start, have won 2 in a row now. 46 out of the backcourt of Hield and Fox. The Knicks are 1-6. They shot 40% in this game. Here's David Fizdale on what happened and what's ahead.
It's just a crap game. We had nothing. We did nothing right. We didn't execute on either end of the floor. You know, to keep it in perspective for our guys, we've played 6 crap quarters this whole season. 3 of them was in this game. And unacceptable, obviously. You know, we got to take it. We got to own it. and we'll get back to the film and regroup.
You subbed RJ back in with 9 minutes to go, and he played 41 minutes total. You guys were losing by 20 at that point. He's already put on a lot. Do you worry about the stress you're putting on?
He's got the day off tomorrow. We got to get off of this load management crap. Latrell Sprewell averaged 42 minutes for a season. Like, this kid's 19 years old. Like, drop it already.
Take that for data. Right? You guys are a little old school. You buy that?
Well, I am old school, but this is the thing, and this is where I differ a little bit. I've been around a lot of teams, the bad teams that draft a lot of young players. Physically, when you put 82 games on them with the travel, and people forget this, NBA teams practice. Yeah. You may not practice for 2 hours like we used to, but you're going to go in there for an hour and 30 minutes, and then you're going to get your individual work done. So they practice. Those young guys, they're not physically or more so mentally ready for that grind. They don't know how to keep their body in shape. They don't know how to keep their body strong. They don't know how to sleep right, eat right, rest right, all those things. So to me, we need to be careful with these young guys because their body's not developed. That's when they get hurt and they start breaking down. Think about this, B. After a month and a half, 2 months, you played your entire college season. You're just not a third of the way through the NBA season. So to me, Matt, I understand the load management, but to me, you have to take in consideration that these young guys coming into the league after 32 games, they don't have a clue of what it takes to get their body physically and mentally ready to play. We need to be careful, and we need to watch their minutes.
We do, and I look at it the other way, and I say that putting him back out there in a game like that allows him to get some valuable experience out there on the floor that he can't get. Mm-hmm. But I think that you have to pull him aside and say, look, the game is out of hand. I'm gonna put you back out there in the game, and I don't want you to develop bad habits. So continue to play the game the right way, even though
I don't want you out there just going for points.
That's right. That's right. Play the game the right way. Take what the defense gives you, play in the rhythm of the offense, and get that valuable experience. There's a way to load manage without actually sitting guys out of games, and you can load manage by just cutting minutes back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I played for Phil Jackson. There was always a badge of honor within our team of wanting to play 82 games.
Yes.
And that's been lost somewhere, in all of this. And so, in those moments when you want to give some guys a rest, when you already have your playoff position solidified, then you can say, okay, I'm only going to play you in the first quarter or the third quarter. You do that twice, you basically taking a game off if you're only playing 24 out of 48 minutes, in 2 games. And so, there's ways to do that. But, you have to be careful now with these young guys. I agree. When we came in the league, there weren't many guys that had just come out of high school or just 1 year.
We had played 3-4 years of college basketball.
Exactly.
Right.
And so you're coming in playing against grown men whose bodies are physically mature. I talked about it with Kevin off camera earlier. Derek Harper, Alvin Robertson, Joe Dumars, when I came in the league.
You couldn't move.
180, when you can hand check,
Yep.
They would put their hand right around my waist, and they were guiding me around the floor. My feet were moving, but I had no control of where I was going. And that was after 4 years of college. So imagine if I came in as a 18, 19-year-old trying to play against these grown men and physically not being able to do it. That didn't happen then. And now, we're seeing it more now. And the bad thing about it is the coach is still expected to win with these guys that aren't ready to play and aren't ready to win yet.
And B-Shaw, it is not the 41 minutes. It's not putting them back out there because you want your young guys to play and develop. And sometimes you put them out there just to see them fight through tough situations. Right. But again, you got to have